Hello and welcome back to Swapnil's analysis, and I am Swapnil. Today we are going to discuss about the concept of tragic hero, or Aristotle's concept of tragic hero, because Aristotle, he was the first person to talk about tragedy, to talk about the plot of the tragedy, to talk about the epic, and also the concept of tragic hero. And there are if you read the Poetics of Aristotle, you will find that it is the one of the finest book ever written for understanding the literature or for understanding the tragedy. So Aristotle, in his Poetics, he has laid down some of the criterias for the tragic hero. So we all have read the tragedies. We all know the tragedies about the greatest tragedies like Shakespeare, like Christopher Marlowe, like the Spanish tragedy, or in the modern sense, like Arthur Miller's tragedy, or any other tragedies written by the other playwrights. So, what happens here that there are some features, there is a criteria that decides, or there are some qualities that decides about the tragic hero, that a tragic hero, he must possess those qualities, or he must fulfill those criteria to be eligible for to be a tragic hero. Now all we have discussed that, or we know that every play, every novel, or every story has a hero. The qualities of heroes, those are different, but the qualities of a tragic hero is a very different one than the other ordinary heroes. Why? Because the whole play revolves around the tragic hero, and the whole story or the whole tragedy, it is based on the hero. Means hero, he carries the whole play forward on his shoulder. So the Aristotle, he has laid down some criterias for the tragic hero, which we are going to discuss in today's interaction. So what is here that Aristotle, the first criteria of a tragic hero is that he should be good. He should be generally good. Now what is here Aristotle he is talking about? He should be good means he should be morally good. Means he should possess, or he must have some moral ideas. He should behave in such a moral way that will make him above the ordinary person. Some people, they have misinterpreted the Aristotle's concept that a hero, he should be from the high ranking family or from the high status family. That was the general perception, or that was the contemporary situation of a Greek society, where all the literature and all the heroes, they were generally from the politically or socially high society. But the modern tragedy writers, they seems to have very well understood what Aristotle actually wanted. Aristotle, he expected from the tragic hero that he should be morally good. He should behave in a very good in a good manner that will make him higher than the ordinary person. He should be higher. He should come from the high society. It is not from the high society, but his behavior, some of his attributes, he must have some attributes to his character which will make him above the ordinary person, and that will also then his reverse, that will also help in his reversal of fortune. So Aristotle, he means that he should be generally good. Means he should not be that good that it will be a kind of a competition that okay, he will be equal to the god or the angels. Means good here, just try to understand what he should be good. A tragic hero, he should be good means his behavior and his moral attitude. He should be morally good. He should have some ethics, and that will make him superior to the ordinary people. Second criteria is appropriateness of the character. Now, appropriateness of the character means he should belong to that class, he should belong to that type, and he should belong to that status. So, Othello, he should be appropriate to that particular character, means he was a Moor. And Eddie, he was a longshoreman, means he was a common worker. So therefore Eddie and Othello, they must behave like their character. They should not behave out of their character. So Eddie, he was not from the high ranking family or political or socially high family, but he was morally good. How Eddie was morally good? That is that he treats Catherine like his own daughter. No one in the real life treats someone else's child as his own daughter, but Eddie does. He is very caring about Catherine. He wants that Catherine she should live a very happy life, a very respectable life. And that we very rarely see. And he also allows Rodolfo and Marco to stay in his house without giving any kind of rent. That was his morally good nature. So that Eddie becomes higher than the ordinary people. Okay. So therefore ordinary people, they do not think in such a way as Eddie does. Same with the King Lear, same with the Othello. Third criteria of a tragic hero is likeness of character. Means he should seem real life. He should seem real. He should not seem fake. Because what happens when you present a character of such a high morality, he must have some fault. Therefore, he should be good, but he should not be that good that people would start considering him as a god. He should have some flaw, and therefore likeness of the character means he should behave like other human beings who have the flaws. So, and he should seem like a human being. He should not seem like a god or some kind of a divine being. Therefore likeness of the character that he defines, he should be original, he should be true to the life. That's what Aristotle had expected from the tragic hero. Now, these two aspects of the tragic hero, they are very important. First, that is consistency. What is here consistency meant by Aristotle? Consistency means he should be consistent whatever he is doing. If he is inconsistent, then he should be consistently inconsistent whatever the tragic hero is doing. Means, for instance, this is the flaw. Means this flaw that leads to him to his downfall. So if Othello, he believes whatever told to him by Iago, then he consistently must believe in whatever Iago tells him. Same way, in a view from the bridge, Eddie, knowing the fact that he cannot prevent the marriage between Catherine and Rodolfo, still he consistently tries to prevent their marriage, to stop their marriage. And that was his tragic flaw. That is the consistency, means he must behave and he should be ignorant about what he was doing or what he is doing. That is called consistency. He must behave in that consistent manner. If he is a mad, then he must consistently be mad. That is the thing Aristotle expects from the tragic hero, that he should be consistent whatever he does. Now this is the hamartia. Hamartia in the sense that a tragic flaw, that error of judgment. Hamartia, that is the error of judgment, and also the tragic flaw, the flaw which is considered for or responsible for the downfall of the character. So hamartia means he must repeat his mistake again and again. That is called error of judgment. That is called error of judgment. He must repeat his mistakes again and again, and that repetition, that ignorance, which definitely lead to the downfall of the character. That is called hamartia, means error of judgment, or his flaw in his character, that is responsible for his downfall. That is responsible for his downfall. And also the error of judgment, that he is completely error of judgment here, that is the hamartia or tragic flaw. What is the error of judgment? That Eddie, knowing the fact that he cannot prevent the marriage between Catherine and Rodolfo, Alfieri also tries to convince the Eddie that okay, they both are mature people and no one can prevent them from marrying with one another. Even Beatrice also suggests him that Catherine, now she is a grown-up woman and she has a right to select her life partner, but Eddie, he doesn't believe either of them. So that was his hamartia, that was his tragic flaw, that he somehow wanted to stop Catherine from marrying Rodolfo. That was his hamartia. And the last and important one, that is the reversal of fortune. Reversal of fortune means his turning from happiness to the misery. Read any of the tragedy, be it of Shakespeare, be it of Marlowe, be it of Arthur Miller, or be it of August Wilson. You'll find the beginning, the tragic hero, he is the most respected man. He has some principles. Everyone respects him. But gradually, because of his consistency, because of his hamartia, error of judgment, he towards the end becomes the most hated person. That's happened in the Othello, King Lear, and the A View from the Bridge as well. So reversal of fortune means the declination of the tragic hero from the high point to the low point. So now here comes into the play the goodness of the character. Initially, the tragic hero, he is of a very good nature, means morally good person. But later on, what happened? Towards the end of the play, tragic hero, who is high above the ordinary people, he declines and he also becomes ordinary. Reversal of fortune means he becomes, at the beginning he is that high, and towards the end he becomes ordinary like every other person, and therefore he dies. Why death is so significant, so vital for the tragedy? It is because a person of such high moral attitude, he cannot survive till the last breath of his life with carrying a guilt inside his heart. May just imagine whatever Eddie had done in The View from the Bridge. Everyone, Catherine forgives him. Just imagine, we are thinking here hypothetically, that Catherine marries Rodolfo. Rodolfo gets a chance to live in America as he becomes American citizen after marrying Catherine. Marco, he goes back to his native place. How would Catherine and Eddie, they would talk with one another? How would Eddie live? Even though Eddie, he leaves New York and goes, let us say for instance, to Los Angeles, and there he starts a new life, but he won't be able to forgive himself. He won't be able to live ever happily whatever he had done. He would always remember that he had made that call to the immigration officer and he has betrayed to the society. that betrayal of the trust would not let him to live happily ever after. Therefore, a tragic hero, he must die, because death eradicates every person from every scene and everything. And therefore, Othello, he also dies when he realizes that it was his stupidity, that he believed everything Iago had said. Therefore, he stabs himself, he dies. Same with the Macbeth, same with the King Lear. Therefore, death is very vital for the tragedy. Why? Because tragic hero, he cannot survive till the last breath of his life with carrying the guilt. King Lear dies not because of the betrayal of his two elder daughters, but because of the death of Cordelia. And he realizes that Cordelia, she has died only because of him. And therefore he says, I cannot forgive myself. And therefore he dies. Eddie also dies. Eddie knows that he cannot win a fight with Marco, because Marco, he was stronger than Eddie. But he had realized that he had made a mistake. And therefore he happily dies in that play. So death is very important. Why tragic hero, he must die? Because death prevents other people behaving in a same way. It was a kind of a lesson to the audiences that if you behave or if you make certain mistakes as made by tragic hero, you would also meet the same fate. So the death is very important. But here, what I want to draw your attention to, that if you read Macbeth, King Lear and Othello, what you would find that King Duncan, he dies without any tragic flaw. Cordelia dies without any tragic flaw. Desdemona dies without any tragic flaw. So what about their death? Their death was very necessary. Duncan, he could have declined the invitation of Macbeth, but he goes. Cordelia also knows that okay, if she does something, she would die. Desdemona also, she believed everything Othello had said or Cassio had said. So they died because of their own tragic flaw. And here in a modern tragedy, if you read All My Sons or A View from the Bridge, what about Beatrice? Now, Eddie has died. Now what will happen with the Beatrice? What was her fault that now she will have to live lonely or alone or without Eddie or without Willie? What about them? What they had done? Their tragic flaw here is that they could not prevent their husbands from behaving in a certain way. So tragic hero is as important in the tragedy as the plot. So Aristotle, he has laid down some ideas, some criteria for the tragic hero. If you have liked my presentation, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.